When he took his top off and I saw his chest, I was thinking, Jesus.
I just thought he's going to get yellow cards, isn't he? That's what I thought.
Mohamed Salah, after many years of being the top scoring player in FPL, will not continue his reign at the top of the tree.
It's definitely time for his breakout season at age 34. Getting in over the World Cup winning Hugo Lloris.
Hello everyone, welcome back to All in FPL. I'm Alex Doyle. Our regular host JB is unfortunately in the United States of America at the moment, so he's not able to make it. Unfortunately, his trip to Disneyland couldn't be postponed for the podcast recording, which is a shame. But you've got the money man with us, the richest man in the world. It's Josh Waldridge. How are you doing?
I'm good, mate. You said unfortunately. I think it's quite fortunately for him actually that he's in Florida. But yeah, what I'd do for that trip right now.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the money man. It was it made the point today when you were worried about the bank not covering the amount of money in your bank account in case the banks go under. So that sort of really underlined the point.
Yeah, I mean, I might be like good with my finances in FPL, but when it comes to like real life, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on. So yeah, I had to ask a few of my friends who were posting a few tips and stuff about finances. I was like, what do I do with my money? Because I don't want to just get free rolled and just lose it. You know what I mean? When all the UK banks crash next week. So yeah.
So you're not lost it all on poker this week then? Is that?
No, I was, as you know, I was on foreign shores where poker's illegal. Luckily, so I've had a week of, well, I say a week. Since Wednesday, I haven't lost any money, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it's been what a week it's been.
It feels like a free trip, right? You're not losing money on poker, so you just get to go to Iceland. It's fantastic, right? Well, so today what we'll do then, we'll go through our teams for this game week, currently going on, game week 27. And then we will, while JB might not be with us in person, he's still here in spirit. So Josh and I are going to have a look at his team, break it down, and basically come up with the winning strategy for his team for the rest of the season, which he will 100% follow upon his return to British soil.
Yeah, I think he'll be watching this like ahead of the week ahead, obviously. He'll be watching it at some point in the middle of Magic Kingdom or whatever it is. So hopefully this can really help him with his season, because predominantly we're doing a section just for him this week, aren't we? And then it sort of might be applicable to people who've got slightly similar teams. So yeah. Yeah.
And we'll talk about all the fun assets, all that sort of stuff as we go through. So still worth listening to if your name's not JB, we promise. So game week review, we always start with the bottom of the pile. So I will kick us off with a 46 pointer so far, which is not good. A game week rank of 6.2 million doesn't sound particularly strong. Benched loads of points, as a lot of people did, aside from Josh. Kepa in goal with his 3-pointer. Trippier got the assist, obviously. Then Rico Henry and Alexander Arnold starting them was pretty big error, given Ben White scored 6 and Tarkowski 8 on my bench. Then Gakpo blanked. Odegaard got his goal, which was a good decision. One of my few of the week, starting him over Saka. Rashford blanked, obviously. Mitoma captain as well. Started off well with a 6-pointer doubled. Then Darwin blank, Tony blank, and Haaland with his singular goal, no bonus. Yeah, it always felt like a tough week as soon as that Liverpool game ended, to be honest with you. With triple Liverpool and them losing 1-0 was not a good start.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see any mistakes in here, really. Like, obviously, I think playing Henry and TAA over White and Tarkowski was correct. I think it's close with White and the others, but like, I don't think you were ever realistically going to start those two over someone who has a double and someone who has Bournemouth. So, obviously a bad result, but yeah, the Liverpool game has shaped your game week, hasn't it? It's just a disaster, 2-2-2 when they're playing Bournemouth, which is like the best single game week fixture you can have. They've just come off beating United 7-0 last week, and they go and do this against Bournemouth. It's just, Classic Premier League, I think, in a nutshell.
It's typical Everton fan, right? Isn't it? As we needed them to beat Bournemouth for the relegation scrap, and I had triple Liverpool in my team, so obviously they go and fuck it up and lose 1-0. It's just classic. It looked like in the first 20 minutes, I thought it was going to be another 6-7-0. To be honest with you, they were absolutely battering them. There was a ruled out goal, which was Gakpo to Darwin, or vice versa, which would have been absolutely lovely, but wasn't to be. So yeah. But yeah, pretty happy with the cap choice, given percentage as well in terms of captaincy. So I'm happy there. But we'll see what happens in the second set of games. You never know. Mitoma could score a hat trick, and in that case, I'll be looking all right.
Yeah, and I think there's more than I think you've made more good decisions than bad decisions. Like Odegaard over Saka, it was a great decision results wise, but also he just looked so much more involved again than Saka, literally. So I think you made a great decision there. Mitoma over Tony for the captaincy was one I was very tempted by myself. I think I really wish I'd gone Mitoma now because I think Brighton just look absolutely awesome.
Yeah, the decision I made it on was that Brentford have looked pretty average despite winning games, and Brighton have looked very good in all the games. So while Tony's the sort of main man, focal point, which helps, I felt like taking the risk on the better scoring attack that would be a lower owned pick as well in terms of captaincy. So went with that. And Odegaard, I was very close to benching Odegaard because of the illness reports. And then I thought, well, there's no way he's going to come off the bench, is there really? He's going to start or he's not going to be in the squad. So I mean, I liked him over Saka based on last week. We talked about how involved he was in that game against Bournemouth where he blanked. So I thought would go with that.
It's funny as well that Odegaard was the one who ended up getting 90 minutes and Saka and Martinelli got subbed off. Like that's just like quite funny because you'd think the ill guy would get subbed off, you know what I mean? Like early on, just to put him in a warm coat or something, you know what I mean? But no, he just walking around the pitch 90 minutes, got a booking during that time as well after Saka went off. Just like, yeah, really, really, really funny. But yeah, I think what's controlled the ownership here a little bit is the fact that Brentford have gone double, single, double, whereas Brighton obviously go double, blank, double.
Yeah.
I think everyone would have 3 Brighton and 1 Brentford maybe if it was the other way around. But the fact that it's Brentford are the ones that sort of play you through, if that makes sense, that's really boosted the Brentford ownership because Brighton are a much better team and like they're actually just better priced as well. They're just way better in every way. But yeah, Brentford having the fixture in 28 has pulled a lot of ownership for them, I think.
Yeah, I'd have used my transfer on a Brighton player, not a Brentford player, if it wasn't for blank next week. So that my free hit either. So I just had to bring in Rico Loser Henry, and I couldn't really justify using a second transfer on getting McAllister, even though I really wanted him. But my midfield was too strong. It was like I was already benching Saka. It just made no sense to use a transfer on it, given I've got to be very careful with my moves going forward with no chips left. Well,
yeah, your sacrifice of using the free hit early on just means you have to be more inclined to roll, don't you, than like take a hit. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, you got to like roll where you can, and then like pick you 1 week to attack, I suppose, and to like dead end, and then play your wild card whenever you can. Yeah, so it's some interesting times ahead, I think.
Yeah, for the JB stands, we'll give him a quick update. He got 52 points. He captained Tony like a loser. He owned Salah, which very, very sad that he's not on the podcast to discuss Salah's game week.
Have you seen who saved him here again? Look at that middle of that defence. What a fucking joke. How does he hit this every week, man?
So fucking lucky. I mean, Ollie Watkins, loser Watkins.
Yeah, I think Watkins has been a fair enough pick, and I think he's actually been a good pick, to be honest. Like, pick. Would I have played Watkins over Odegaard? Absolutely no chance. By the way, would I have done that? Like, no fucking chance. On my fan teams, I got a lot of Watkins actually, and I benched him every time for Odegaard. So that was like a decision I actually made. But again, he's plus 1 point on that one. He should have listened to you though with Odegaard over Saka. I think that would have been the 4-point swing again.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on from him anyway. He's not here.
João Felix hasn't done amazing for him, has he? 1 pointer. Subbed at half time, embarrassed, taken off for Conor Gallagher. Absolutely humiliating.
Yeah. I was sure he'd scored. And it counted, but now ruled out.
Salah 0 pointer, absolutely pathetic not to be able to score that penalty. Like, and potentially could have cost his team like a sort of top 4 berth here with like results like this, because you just can't afford to lose to Bournemouth 1-0. It's absolutely embarrassing. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, very poor from the Liverpool boys, but somehow he's only got one of them. Whereas obviously you've been punished with 3, even though your dickhead didn't miss a penalty. You've had 2, 2, 2, and he's had 0 from 1. So he's probably ended up better off, really.
Yeah. Go on, Josh. Run us through your winning team this week.
Well, I've actually masked my team very cleverly here because I'm technically on less points than you. If I hadn't last second played the bench boost chip,
Good use of it.
Yeah, I was in the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. I was just sat there in the nice warm bath. You know, I like a bath. The cold air was flowing into my ears and my head, and something came across me. I don't know what happened.
The Icelandic wind blew across and it whispered in your ear, bench boost.
They said, get rid of Sanchez. He's not going to play again. So I thought, okay. So we brought in Jason Steele, the goalkeeper, another goalkeeper transfer. It had to be done, of course.
Your last of the season, though, Josh.
That was my last goalkeeper transfer of the season. I
can't see how that could possibly be needed to be moved again. I can't imagine.
I've got two shit 4 million goalies who probably won't be playing either of them for much longer. Like Danny Ward chucked in about 4 goals again this weekend. Absolutely hilarious.
He is so bad. Aside from that 5 game week stretch, he's just awful. I don't know how he's still playing.
And last week when I benchmarked him on and he scored a penalty, saved a penalty, of course. I mean, he was good last week as well. Just whenever I need to play him, he's good, basically. So I thought
the bench boost, right? That feels a bit
yeah,
weird.
Yeah. De Zerbi, he basically said, "Look, Steele is going to play the next few." So I thought that's enough for me to play bench boost this week. I think he's going to play the next 2 games. So I bought in Steele. And I bench boosted a bench of Ward, Trippier, Odegaard, Zinchenko. I don't think I've done anything unreasonable here looking at the team. I think, would I have played Trippier if it came down to it? It's kind of close, but my 3 defenders all have doubles. So I think I would have honestly played the doubles and just risked Trippier on the bench. So I think this is a pretty accurate bench, what I would have benched.
You would have done
Yeah. Obviously, they all got.
You're a bad player, so you'd have benched Odegaard, yeah, and you're a bad player, so you'd have benched Trippier. So, yeah, seems accurate.
Yeah, and so they all got 1 return each except Ward. So it's a 20-point bench boost, which, like compared to you, obviously I've crushed it out the park. But I think this is going to be about par for the course with the people in 29 because the bench is up really good in 29, I have to say. But what's the saying? A bird in the hand and all that. I think I'd rather have the 20 points, to be honest, and we'll just move on. Obviously, it saves transfers down the line as well, probably because I now don't have to take a big hit in 29 to do say 3 transfers or something. So yeah, hopefully we're good.
I'm really looking forward to wildcarding after 29 or whenever I wildcard and not having to have that bench that everyone else has got. Though having said that, it's kind of hard to spend your money this season, so maybe not the best year for it, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Danny Ward's a bit of a gift, especially in 29, because he's got a really good double. And he's obviously a min-price goalie. If you add Steele to that, which I have done and potentially others will before 29, Steele and Ward might be an 8 million goalkeeper pairing that's got 2 games each. You know what I mean? So I think that could be really good for bench boost. I think
some guys get all the luck. And you had Harry Kane as well, save your bacon early as well.
I cannot believe how low owned this guy is. He's had one of the best seasons ever, literally, and we're not talking about him because of Haaland, obviously, but people have still got Mo Salah and not Kane, and I just don't understand what's going on. I just keep looking at it in disbelief that they've got
because a guy who scored and he just looks shit. Whenever you watch them play, he never looks like scoring ever, and then he just pops up with 2 goals or whatever.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer, man.
Highlights from this week. But
yeah, he's got 20 goals now somehow. I don't know how he's got 20 goals. Absolutely crazy.
26 returns through 27 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's been overshadowed by Haaland, as we said. He's just completely he's still 8 goals behind Haaland, but he's having one of the best seasons ever.
Not that far behind points-wise, though. 30 points on FPL.
Yeah, I think it's good to. It's been a bit of a cheat code to have both for large parts of the season. I wanted to talk about this as well without JB here really quickly, so there's no contesting kind of thing. But Salah's actually been one of the biggest points killers for the whole season because he's got a lot of his points against like some of the tougher teams away, which
Yeah.
means like when you're capping him, he's blanking every time. Like, I mean, people would have capped him at the weekend a few. Like, obviously the double changed it a bit, but people capped him at home to Bournemouth earlier in the season, blank. Obviously 9-0, the talisman blanked, and then like there's been a few other occasions where like I think one of the Everton games he blanked, for example, like he blanked against Notts Forest.
That's
Like,
tough.
yeah, he's been just like blanking in the games where people would have capped him. So he's potentially cost people an awful lot of points throughout the season, I think. Yeah, so Harry Kane's been the one, because I think you just like never really feel obliged to captain Kane. And to be honest, he's been very consistent anyway. So it's been fine to cap him most weeks. But yeah, I think the temptation's always there to captain Salah more so than Kane, which shouldn't be the case, but I think it is.
Well, it's because Spurs don't have the ceiling, right, in terms of goal scoring, etc., which Liverpool do. So you wouldn't captain Kane because he never looks like having those hat-trick games in him. But I don't know. He's still yeah. I didn't watch the game on the weekend. Have you seen the highlights of that all?
What, Tottenham?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just does his thing. He scored a very similar goal to what he normally scores, that back post header that you love. Yeah, it was another back. He scored a header at the back post. Yeah, it wasn't off a corner, but it was a back post header. Exactly the same. He like, if they're gonna, I don't understand what defenses are actually doing. Like, I don't think that there's much other threat at Spurs really. Like, even off the set pieces, like I haven't recalled anyone else scoring off a corner this season.
I can't recall anyone else scoring this season. Can you? Son's not scored any. Richarlison's not scored any. Kulusevski's not scored any. I think it's just all Kane, isn't it? Keeping them afloat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and they're not marking him. I just don't understand. They're just not, his movement's not that good. That like he's just like always free at the back post. Like he's not running in and out of people like 8 times. He's just free all the time. It's just absolutely bonkers. But yeah, 20 goals. Well done, Harry Kane.
Is Conte going now? Do we know? There was loads of rumours of him leaving before the last game, but I guess he's won now. I don't know.
It gets quickly forgotten in this industry, doesn't it? If they win another game, like the next game, it'll be like it won't even be sort of mentioned. I think he might definitely go at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But until then,
he doesn't seem to like it. They don't seem to like him.
The thing is, it's been a really good weekend for them, though. All they did was beat Forest, but because Liverpool lost to Bournemouth,
yeah,
it was actually a very, very good weekend for the top 4 for them. They're 6 points clear of Liverpool now.
Newcastle won, to be fair, but yeah.
Newcastle are still within touching distance. They've got 2 games in hand as well, but like I think it's probably going to come down to Liverpool and Tottenham. I think, Tottenham have got 6 points ahead. I mean, could go down to the wire. I think.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It was a weird weekend as well. It's like a load of the crap teams got results, or they got at least most of them got a draw sort of thing. Bournemouth won, obviously. Forest lost, and Wolves thankfully lost against Newcastle. And it looked like they were going to get something, but Southampton drew, West Ham drew, Leeds drew. So it was a bit of a weird one. But I feel a lot better about Everton now in 15th. Bit more settled.
Psychological. It's all psychological. All the bottom 9 are still in the race for sure. Like which might actually mean we see teams playing their first team all the way through to the end of the season at this point. I think not many people are going to be safe with 2 games to go still.
I think all the teams are pretty similar quality, to be honest. I don't think there's much between any of the teams. Everyone's capable of getting a rogue result. No team looks particularly good and is just not getting points sort of thing. It's not that sort of. It's not that Kate. It's just weird. It's just all weird. And no team's an absolute whipping boy either, right? Like no team's just getting battered by everyone.
No, and like I think this is why Haaland perma-cap got so much traction at the start of the season as well, because I think it was just as long as he was playing someone a bit crap, you were just going to captain him. You know what I mean? It was just like, and there's loads of a bit crap teams, so it was suddenly just like Haaland. But yeah, I saw like a little thing today about Aston Villa are just in the middle of the table, like just in a little league of their own, just like 11th, I think.
Yeah. Like 10 points clear, aren't they, of like the team below them and like the team above.
Yeah. They're just not going to do anything for the rest of the season. They're not going to go up any spots, that's for sure, because the teams above them are all just way better. But like everyone below them, they're just miles clear. So yeah, they're on the beach already soon, probably. But other than that, it's all to play for.
Yeah, it should be a fun end to the season at least. We'll see. Still loads of games to go. Obviously, some teams could just completely collapse. I think it's hard to say who though. Like Southampton look really bad. Forest, I think, could collapse. I think they're the ones that could just completely collapse and sink. But aside from that, it's tough.
Yeah, all the pretty much all the relegation teams actually play this week coming up as well. Still, I think there's only one or two that like blank in any way. So yeah, there must be some big games this weekend.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the 5:30 at the weekend. We're just going to ignore that. That doesn't exist. That's not a game.
I think you might beat them. I have to say, really
Away.
weird one.
I don't think away. I think at home we'd have I think at home I'd back us, but away I can't see it. It feels too tough.
They're not that good though. Like they've picked up a little bit last two games, but you'll do them. Surely you'll do them. I wish JB was here to defend it because he's going to be really pro Chelsea now. Like as in they're back, they're amazing, but yeah, they're still susceptible.
Yeah, we'll get into let's talk about JB's team, then we'll get into the next game weeks. It's quite a fun one from like captaincy perspective, all that sort of thing. Transfers, captaincy, there's loads going on. So, Josh, do you want to just quickly, for the sake of the audience, because I know, obviously, but for the sake of the audience, what teams are playing 28 and then doubling 29?
Absolutely no problem. So let's just go through this. So starting from the top, we got I'm going fixture wise in 28, by the way, by the top. So the Friday night game in 28 is Forest and Newcastle. They both double 29 as well as playing 28. So do Bournemouth and Villa, who are one of the 3 o'clocks on Saturday. Yeah. Brentford and Leicester also have a double in 29 as well as playing 28. And then Leeds are the same, and so are Chelsea. So I think that makes 8 teams in total, which is quite a lot, really, isn't it? That play 28, double 29. Probably not enough for a wild card for someone like you. I just don't think there's enough good teams doing.
I don't think I need to, right? Either I can get to an 11. I don't think it's a massive advantage by wild carding. And
you got 2 transfers as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, no chance. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. But
after I'd held him for so long, and then he obviously hits the banger. Right, should we go through the team? Then I'm giving my plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's read out his boys. JB, what they call JB's L chaps. I mean, that's a crap name for a start. We haven't talked about that, but that is absolutely crap. So he's got 2 keepers who play this week. So he's got Kepa and Ward. They also both double 29. So we're starting to see things already, I think, just from looking at the back 2 positions. Then he's got Trippier, Gabriel, Tarkowski, and maybe James. But let's be honest, that's not happening. He's not playing this week. Yeah. And then he's got Luke Shaw, who doesn't play. So we're sort of, if we're doing a counter, we can have up to like 3 or 4 outfield players who don't play. So Shaw doesn't play. Salah, Rashford, Mitoma don't play. And then everyone else has a game. So he's got 4 who don't play this week. So he's got 10 players effectively with a transfer in hand. Straight away, as you alluded to for yours, I think that rules out playing any sort of chip this week. I think he just has to get to 11 and just play, right? So he's got the choice of selling one of Shaw, Salah, Rashford, or Mitoma. I think I default to selling Salah probably, but like they're doubling 29's quite bad. He's obviously
they do double though, right?
Yeah, they do double, but so does Rashford, Shaw, and Mitoma. All of his players who blank this week double next week. So it's just a case of picking one, I think.
Yeah, and so if you're selling Salah, I guess you're going to Maddison? Almiron?
It's just a punt somewhere, isn't it? It's absolutely despicable. It's just terrible. Like, you don't want a Chelsea mid, probably, I'm guessing.
No, there's no one there, is there, right? It's just too hard. Unless is Raz injured? I feel like something's happened to Raz.
I think he's okay. He's just in and out of the team. He started in the Champions League, but
Did he start? Yeah. Did he start the weekend? Because I feel like if he did, and I know he's yellow flagged. Yeah, I thought he'd picked up something. Yeah, he didn't play because he was injured. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're looking at, I'd say Madison or.
Oh, he's got some in the bank. I'll tell you what he could do. He could do Shaw to Chilwell. That looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess.
These midfielders are all just crap is the problem. Like, isn't it? Like, it's just like they're all absolute crap. So I think he's supposed to go Chilwell, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
United might... Yeah. Yeah, he didn't start at the weekend, though. He only came off the bench.
Oh, did he? He's not fine then.
Yeah. Sure, though, like United might be quite a bit more defensively frail now. Casemiro's missing 4 games, like, so I think it might make sense to get rid of that spot. I think anyway, and just have Chilwell. Seems good to me. I think.
So why has he got a 4-game ban?
Because he's been sent off twice in about 3 weeks.
It goes up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you keep getting sent off, you get in trouble. You get in more trouble.
I'm not sure about that red card. What did you think? Have you seen it?
Yeah, it was very close, I would say. Like, I think
his foot rolls over the ball, but his foot shouldn't be going at that high. It's kind of like
my sort of unapologetic stance on these ones is always to wind up the United fans. So I think I will always take the vote that he was a clear red card. But but it was obviously, if that happened to my team, I'd be fucking fuming. I'd be like, that is absolutely not a red card. But it's all about perspective, as I said before.
Yeah, exactly.
So assuming he gets Chilwell, right? Let's assume that for a second. He's still got dodgy Reece James, which I wouldn't be happy having that in my team. Like, can you really rely on that in 28 and a double in 29? He probably plays one game.
He's had him since the restart, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just kept him on the bench. Yeah, just like kept him.
Yeah,
don't get it.
Do something the week after, right? If he wants to bench boost.
Yeah, I mean, it would be funny if you were bench boosted and then Reece James played none. So if we're to look at the week after, as I say, both his keepers double in 29. He's got Trippier who doubles. He'll have Chilwell if he follows our plan who doubles. Reece James doubles in inverted commas. And then he's got Salah, Rashford, Mitoma. Saka and Odegaard have both got Leeds at home, which is basically a half double anyway. That's like just really good, I think. And then his 3 strikers all double. So he's going to be selling, I guess, Tarkowski and James, or Tarkowski or James that week, and keeping everything else.
Spurs at home. That's a clean in the goal right there.
Yeah, I think he'll end up selling Tarkowski with a lot of money in the bank. He'll probably go for Trent Alexander-Arnold because he's very just like that. That's his sort of personality. Or he gets.
We don't care about his personality. We're saying what he should do, right? We don't care about what he's going to do. We're just going to tell him what's right here.
Well, the thing is, what's correct, ironically, is probably just buying Luke Shaw back the week after, to be honest, isn't it? Like, it's like, it just is. Like, it's just like, his team would be good if 29 was coming up this next week coming. You know what I mean? It would be really good. It's just like, he's got to maneuver a blank first where 4 of his players don't play.
I might get a Brighton defender against Brentford at home and Bournemouth away.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as well to me. I think that's a really good shout as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he can get both because, as I say, he has Reece James who's going to play 1 game, so it's like it's a single game week anyway. So
he won't be able to talk himself into that though. But yeah,
no, he didn't sell James when he had 0 games, so he's definitely not going to sell him when he has 2 in inverted commas again. So yeah, cool. I think like I say, so I think he'll do 1 transfer and 1 transfer. So he'll do probably Shaw to Chilwell and then Tarkowski back to like a Shaw or a Brighton defender or something. And then, like, again, I don't think he needs to wildcard anytime soon after that either, because if he buys a Brighton defender, he's then got 2 Brighton players who have all their doubles, obviously.
And he's got a lot of money in the bank for Haaland, right? Or does he have a lot of money in the bank? He's not gotten rid of Salah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's got 4.2 right now, as we speak.
Oh, so he does have loads of money in the bank,
yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He'll use that to go for Felix to Salah or Tony to Salah or whatever. Not to Salah, to Haaland.
Yeah, I mean, most people will be doing Tony to Haaland, by the way, but in his spot, I would 100% do Felix because he's absolutely shit. Like I've had enough. I've had enough of this narrative now. Like we've given him enough of a chance now. He looks good every time he plays. Let me be clear, but he doesn't get any points. Is the problem? So it's like, if I was JB, I would be doing Felix to Haaland in 30. So,
I'm so excited for game week 29. Haaland. It's going to be the best thing ever. Everyone's going to sell him. And he's got Liverpool at home, and he's going to go absolutely crazy. It's going to be amazing.
Those will be some free points for you, I think. I don't think many people will have those, so I think you're going to be happy with that. And then with this team specifically, I would 100% be free hitting in 32. Because that's when like Brighton blank, Man City blank, and Man United blank. So I think he's got enough of those to just like justify playing the free hit in 32. I think, which might mean he ends up wildcarding as late as like 33 or something, or even 36. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's going to wildcard and he's going to definitely bench boost directly the week after. No, he's going to bench boost in 29. Sorry, he's definitely going to bench boost in 29. So yeah. He can just play wildcard whenever he feels like it. So probably like 33 or 35 looks good, something like that.
Yeah, 33 looks like it makes sense in terms of it doesn't seem like a lot of the teams that he's got at the moment double in 34. So not a bad idea. Well, I mean, you might as well just double in 34, right? Like that seems better if you've not got your bench boost. Unless has he got his triple, he doesn't have his triple captain. So no. Yeah, he just wildcard in 34, right?
Yeah, so I think he's going to do one FT each week for the next 3 weeks to get him up to 11, a really good bench boost, and then get Haaland back, and then free hit 32, wildcard 34. I think that's perfect. I think we've solved it, mate.
I'm getting a bit pervy here. Nah, I can't. I was thinking if you could like go like wildcard 32, free hit 34, and get like if like the fixtures worked out, it doesn't work out because City don't play 32. Brighton don't play 32 and United don't play 32, who are the teams you'd obviously want to centre around, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's why, as I said, I think most people who've got free hit left will play free hit in 32. Like it's just obvious with those 3 teams that everyone wants the assets from. Like to be clear, like Brighton are going to double in 31, 34, and 37. So you obviously want them to play through, and you want to be hitting off them just the 1 week and just keep them for all the other weeks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think free hit 32 is the one for sure.
Yeah, it's really tough at the moment. Like you think about like what would the optimal team be outside of doubles and blanks and stuff, and it's quite hard to put together in your mind what you'd want because City aren't exactly firing all cylinders. You'd want Haaland obviously, but outside of that, you could easily put a case of having no other City assets, right?
I think you
free for sure. United, I don't know. 1 or 2, yeah. And then how do you feel like the rest of your team? You still probably want Brighton, I'd say. You'd still probably want Matoma and McAllister.
Definitely.
Liverpool, fixtures are good, but it's Liverpool. It's very tough. Very tough.
Yeah, this would be like a bargain, like a bargain bag sort of thing. I think you'd be grabbing like 1 or 2 from most teams. 1 from most teams, and then free Arsenal, free Brighton, and then that's about it, I'd say. Like, I think everyone else is just a one and like you'd want Rashford. You probably want Harry Kane still with your money. I think he just scores enough goals to want him. I think you'd want Haaland. So those are 3 teams that are really good that you'd only want 1 from. Maybe 1 Liverpool, but I don't know where I'd put it on the pitch. Like, I've got no idea where I'd put that. You'd want Haaland or Watkins, I think. Tony or Watkins, I'd say, sorry. So that's 1 from those teams. And then you'd be packing your midfield with Brighton and Arsenal, as you said.
Did you say Harry Kane?
Yeah. Yeah, you want Kane, Haaland, and then probably Watkins or Tony.
And then Saka, Odegaard.
McAllister, Mitoma, Rashford.
Yeah. And then defense, who the fuck knows? Like, there's no good defensive teams, really.
Trippier.
Yeah, Trippier.
He got 2 assists yesterday, didn't he?
What happened? Did one get ruled out or something?
No, he assisted the Wolves goal. He literally fell over and passed it to him.
I did see that goal. I didn't realise it was Trippier that did it though.
Yeah, and then I don't know who else you'd want in defence. Like you say, one Brighton defender probably, as you said.
City defender again, Akanji. He's back in form after I sold him. I forgot about that. Sorry, that was the bad decision I made, as I sold Akanji for Rico Henry, which was
yeah. You'd still have an Arsenal defender, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
White or Zinchenko or something.
Yeah, White still. He nearly got another assist this weekend. He's looking great going forward.
Yeah, Martinelli should have scored that actually. White put a really good cross in. He's been looking really, really lively.
I know. He started the weekend,
yeah. Their team's just like, go on, mate.
Oh, go on. You can carry on.
Their team is just so set in stone, literally. It's just like, I think they're going to persist with this Trossard out of position for a few weeks still, even though Jesus is sort of back. I think Trossard will play up front the next 2 games. So the team is literally, you can name the 11 players that Arsenal play every week. And it's like, it's quite reassuring to not have to worry about that lineup. You know what I mean? Just like, they're all going to play every week, I think.
Yeah, that's going to go to chaos will it go to chaos or will it just be Jesus in for rotation of Trossard, Martinelli could be on the left or something like that? Which is a shame because Martinelli is just such a good pick right now, as is Trossard, to be fair, but they're just dead when Jesus comes back in, which you assume he will, but maybe not straight away, like you say.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's such a crucial part of the season. If this system with the false 9 keeps working, I think they'll persist with it over and over again until it doesn't work. Because in a title-winning team, there's something to be said for just keeping it the same, isn't there? You know what I mean?
It ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. That's what they always say.
They've looked better than ever in the last few weeks.
Yeah, ever since we gave them a spanking, they've had to change it up and go again.
Yeah, they're looking really good. Do you think they'll win it?
I think they are. I think they will. Yeah, I think they're gonna do it.
I don't think they will, but I think they'll get close.
I don't know. How far ahead are they now? Like, is it 3 points or 6 points?
No, it's not 3. I know that. It's more than that. I'll get it up. Hang on. They're 5 points ahead.
5 points ahead. Same games played?
5.
Yeah, same games played. Number of games. Yeah. Yeah, I back the Arsenal. I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think if this was the City of old, you'd back City all day still, wouldn't you? Because you think they just wouldn't lose a game. But they're definitely going to lose another game. Like, it's just like, Arsenal have to drop a lot of points, don't they? So...
I'm not sure. Let's see the fixtures. So they got Palace, Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, and then it's a tricky one, isn't it? City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton before Forest, Wolves. So they've got to win all the games up till City, and then they've got to win at least 2 out of City, Chelsea, and Newcastle, Brighton, I guess.
That's the business end.
Yeah, I reckon they'll do it. Right, should we move on to next game week and what you're going to do?
Absolutely, yeah. Or what I've already done in some cases.
Oh, exciting. Go on, then.
I knew you hadn't spotted it, literally.
Nah, I've not even looked.
Yeah, so I've got 10 players before doing a transfer. Last night I did Haaland to Watkins. So I've got 11 now. So I'm one of the ones who's going to be laughed at by you in game week 29 when Haaland scores about 4 goals. So I've got Ward in goal. Happy to play him this week. Double Brentford defence with Zinchenko and Trippier. Then I've got Odegaard, Saka, Ward, Prowse, and Kane, Watkins, Tony. I think I've just got all the main spots covered, basically. I don't have a Chelsea defender, but other than that, I think I've got everything covered. So I'm happy to just play through this week. And I'm going to captain Harry Kane.
Yeah, looks pretty good. I forgot about Kane. He's probably a pretty good guy to have this week, right? He's going to be the one that everyone captains.
Yeah, it's interesting for you, though, because you sort of need to follow the narrative of like the 27, 28, the 28, 29 combination again, because you need the guys who play 28, double 29, don't you still? So Watkins is great for you, obviously, for example, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ivan is good for you as well, still.
Yeah, I'll have to hold him. So you're happy with your team? No more changes? No goals?
No, definitely. No. I've got so they both play. One of them plays this week, and they both double next week. So I'm going to be keeping them for at least the next 2 weeks.
if you promise.
I will say, right, I know I said no more goalkeeper transfers, but there is a junction in the future where I need the Brighton outfield slot, so I might have to sell Steele at some point, but that's not for quite a while. That's not for at least 3 weeks. So we'll talk about that when it comes around.
Very nice. What am I doing this week? I did have a plan. I did have a look at this yesterday, but I've completely forgotten what it is because I've got Kepa, Trippier, Henry, Tarko, White, Saka, Odegaard, and then Mitoma, Gakpo, Rashford blank. Darwin blanks. I've got Tony who plays and Haaland blank. So I need to make 3 transfers basically for a -4 is where I'm at. And out of those players, I should probably sell Haaland, but I don't think I'm going to. But it's tough.
You need to buy 3 players, right?
Yeah.
You got to get rid of some Liverpool for sure. I think that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can still do Darwin to Watkins. So that's one that I'd like lock in almost.
Yeah, I might not do Watkins just because of his ownership. Like he's a good option. Obviously, he's got a great fixture, but I just think everyone's going to go to him. And is he that good? Let's have a look.
You've got lots of options. You've got Brennan Johnson. Can I interest you in him?
I do like Brennan Johnson. I'm not going to lie. I do like a bit of Brennan Johnson.
Because he's a striker on this game, so you could get him. You've got Kai Havertz.
Yeah, Kai's
So
one.
you could get
Iheanacho's one.
Isaac.
Isak. Did he start last game?
Yeah, and scored.
Did Wilson start?
No, came off the bench.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah. There's loads of options for you.
I like the sound of that one. I might go for Isak then. That sounds fun.
They're all strikers, though, is the problem. Like, the midfielders are absolutely crap all of a sudden. As we said, you're probably going to have to buy Harvey Barnes or Maddison or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could do like Darwin and Haaland out for like Isak and Watkins or whatever. And then move like either Trent to Chilwell or
Gakpo to a Leicester mid.
Yeah.
You could just do the 3 Liverpool out because you hate Liverpool and just go like striker, Maddison, Chilwell, something like that.
Yeah, that's an option as well.
You'll still have the money there.
That's what I was planning to do. But obviously, like Liverpool having the double, even if it's a shit double, does kind of make you want to keep one of them over.
Yeah, as in, I think you are supposed to sell Haaland over these next 2 weeks. It's just like the one fixture versus some teams 3 fixtures. Well, a lot of teams 3 fixtures, but you do have to buy him back straight away. So it's like, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, and he might be a nice differential in 29.
Yeah, I guess you're never captaining him, are you? So for the price, you should probably just sack him off, right?
Yeah, I do think it's nice to hold one Liverpool, as you say, just because they do have a double next week. Like, but yeah. I think you should definitely sell 2 Liverpool and then Haaland probably as well.
You know, I love Darwin Núñez, so I think it might be him staying and then ditching off. Haaland.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say that there's a plethora of strikers would be a good reason to sell Haaland, but then you just said you're going to keep Núñez in the same breath, so it's like I think there's a lot of strikers for you to buy, definitely. Like a lot that you like as well.
Yeah, true.
Iheanacho, I mean.
So he started alongside Daka at the weekend.
Yeah, he must have, I think.
Daka scored, which worries me a little bit because Nacho's been a bit off the boil the last few as well. After I was singing his praise of being the best striker in world football history, and then he suddenly keeps missing all these really good chances. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely the worst of all the ones we've suggested. I think Brennan Johnson's pretty good, I have to say. I think he could be really good.
It's got a yellow flag, but
Havertz is in form. He's just got penalties as well. Like,
I do like Brennan Johnson. I like Morgan Gibbs-White as well. I love Gibbs-White.
He's a mid, but yeah, that's fine as well, obviously.
Yeah, I get him instead of thinking I could get the Gibbs-White, Brennan Johnson, double up, get all the points, all those Nottingham Forest points that are due.
Yeah, you. I mean, they've got Newcastle this week, which ain't great, and then they've got Wolves and Leeds in the double. Wolves at home, Leeds away. It's not bad.
It is very good. It is very good.
Who's the other ones we were talking about? So, Watkins has obviously got Bournemouth at home this week, which is the absolute nuts.
Yeah.
And then he's got Leicester away, and I can't find Chelsea away in the double. So it's not great, but it's not good. It's not bad either.
No, it's not bad. I think I will just fade him though, just because of the ownership. Like I say, I'll just take the risk on him a little bit because I think everyone's going to go to him. Havertz.
Havertz has got Liverpool at home, Villa at home, and Everton at home. 3 home games. That's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's looked back to his best actually recently. I did think for a while he was the worst footballer in the history of football, but then the last few games I've watched him, he's actually looked really good. So
Isaac's got Forest in 28, then he's got United and West Ham in the double, which actually isn't that great anymore.
Who's he got? Sorry, he's got in the double United and West Ham. Yeah. Not great.
What the fuck? I've just discovered that West Ham have a double in 29. I had no idea that was the case.
When they play,
I genuinely had no clue.
Did he play 28 now?
No.
No interest there whatsoever. Bamford could be back on the menu. Who have they got? Wolves, Arsenal, Forest.
Mix.
It's not a bad one.
The Forest game's good.
Yeah.
Forest are very bad away. It's at Ellen Road as well. It's a big swing factor, that is.
Yeah. What's he looking like? I feel like Bamford's stats always look amazing because he's crap and doesn't put them away, but
he subbed off for Rodrigo at the weekend. I did notice that when I was watching the games.
Did score though, I guess. But yeah, 65 minutes. Tough. Lots of decisions to be made. In terms of defender, would you go to Joe Chilwell? Is that just the obvious, easy play?
I think Trippier, if you don't have him, definitely. But considering you've got him, I think Chilwell's next by miles, yeah.
Yeah. With Everton as well at home, and we can't score goals, so it feels pretty easy one. Yeah.
I don't know where else I'd go because a lot of the teams we just listed are absolutely crap defensively. Like Leeds are crap defensively, Forest are crap defensively, Leicester are crap defensively, Villa maybe like Matty Cash or something like that. But
yeah, Matty Cash, yeah, he could be the one.
Chilwell definitely. And then you've got your Brentford boys who people have already got enough of. I would imagine. I think they're already happy with the amount they've got there. And then it's Botman. Other than that, Botman or Share. Is the other one. So
back to Newcastle well and hoping they start to keep some cleans again. Not the worst thing ever. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. I think for people who've got 2 transfers, say, and have only got like 1 playing defender, which it could be very possible if you've got like Shaw, Trent, a Brighton defender, and then something else. You could just like use your 2 transfers to triple a defense. I think if you've already got, say, Trippier, buying 2 more Newcastle is probably really good. Like just to like play the variants again and try and catch up with some clean sheets. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think I'd do that if I had like Trippier and like no other playing defenders.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. In terms of captaincy, you're going Haaland, obviously, and not
Harry Kane, but yeah,
Kane, obviously, same person. And I think a lot of people will go Watkins if they don't have Kane, right? Those would be the 2 of choice, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yours is. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that seems fun. I might do that.
I can't think who else I'd go really. The Arsenal mids are good, obviously.
Yeah, Arsenal mids are popular. Sorry, I forgot about them. Yeah, they'll probably take most of the ownership, right? Actually,
I think I think if you've got Kane, I think you're really supposed to go Kane, like for sure.
Definitely, yeah. But I don't think right.
Everyone's got Saka and Odegaard, so it's like I think they just pull a lot of it just through people having them already. So, yeah. Watkins against Bournemouth could be a good one.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, just checking. Yeah. The rest are crap. Trippier is obviously good.
Yeah, he's all right, but like you say, Forest are good at home, right? So don't love it.
Yeah. Chilwell. Yeah, Chilwell.
Cool. Should we do a quick beer bet each then before we wrap up?
Yeah, let's do it, definitely. I've still got my João Felix against Haaland one running. That's gonna give me some fun for the next 2 weeks.
You're doing so well. It's unreal.
Well, you thought he'd score because you was needling me at the weekend, weren't you? Saying that I'd already lost.
I started needling you, and then realized, shit, I've lost mine. So I had to like put that afterwards, and then it turned out you hadn't even lost yours. So I was just needling myself. It was just awful.
Yeah, it's perfect. We'll get JB's beer bet in from Florida as well. I'm sure he'll be looking it up this morning while he's like on a theme.
He'll prep that like a month ago, right? He's what he's like with his beer bets. He's so on it. He's always comes very prepared with that sort of stuff.
For sure, yeah.
You have one?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with what I said. I think Everton will win at Stamford Bridge. I really do. I really think that this week.
Yeah,
I'm going to put some money on that.
I hope that one comes in. I'm going to go for Southampton winning at home to Spurs. I'm going to use that as mine.
They're coming to a bit of form recently. Like that, I know they drew 0-0 to 10 men yesterday, but it was at least it was at Old Trafford. They've kept 2 cleans in 2 games. They're sort of like, while still looking completely shit, they've got 2 results in the last 2 games. So yeah,
4 points from Leicester at home, United away. You wouldn't scoff at that. Well, actually, it's 7 points from Chelsea away, Leeds away, Leicester at home, United away, and the one they lost was against Leeds.
Yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? Like it's just like they've had 3 really good results out of 4 games. So yeah, definitely coming into something. 3 clean sheets as well because they cleaned at Chelsea as well, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
1-0, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Fucking hell, they're actually like. They haven't looked good because against Leicester they were shocking defensively still, but they somehow cleaned. And then 3 cleans in 4, it sort of helps like a bit of momentum. It helps a bit of confidence as well.
Saints are marching in, baby. Saints are marching in. All right, Josh marches out.
Right. Please like the video, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, All in FPL. That's the same as our Twitter handle as well, All in FPL. And then we've also got a podcast, which is on Apple, Spotify, and all the other good podcast providers. So please listen to that as well, if that's what you like.
Cool. Thanks, Josh. Speak soon.
See you later, mate. Thanks. Bye.